Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a social production. That's right. We're doing it. It's Friday, October the 17th, 2025. It is the 17th, right? It's not the 18th, is it? It's probably the 17th. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's 2025. Wherever you're tuning in, yeah, it is the 17th. That doesn't matter. The point is that it's Friday. Welcome back. Thank you for joining wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, my familias over there, in the United States of America, all 50 states, further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Madagascar. We'll get to that as well. All around the world, underwater, in a boat, in a submarine, over there in the space station, over there on a satellite. If you're an alien, hello. If you're an animal who's trying to do sign language or speaking, and we don't understand each other, well, it doesn't matter. As long as you're watching the videos. Welcome back. It's Friday. Let's get sick of this shit right here. Lots of stuff to discuss. Lots of fun to be had. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. I'm feeling explosive. Perhaps you're feeling explosive as well. A lot of explosions going on in the past few days, past few week or what's going on is what I'm asking. You know when you see stuff, when you see something and then you're like, that's just one thing. And then you see, once you start noticing, it starts popping up all over the place. You're like, oh, somebody's wearing a red sweater. You're like, I don't care for red sweaters. I'm getting a red sweater. And you wear that red sweater. And all of a sudden you start noticing other people wearing red sweaters. Or pink flamingos. You're like, I've never seen that much pink flamingos until you start looking for them. And next thing you know, all of a sudden, pink flamingos in your ass. You open up your wife's legs. What she got in between her legs? It's a pink flamingo. Over there in your granddad's diapers that you're changing. You've never seen a pink flamingo before, but now you do. What's going on? And is that your grandmother's dentures, or is that a pink flamingo coming out of her mouth? It's all over the place. Patterns. That's what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't know what I'm saying. The point is that explosions, a lot of them, I'm just wondering what's going on. Because there was a huge explosion, maybe about a week ago. Rest in peace to the fallen men and women who worked at an explosive plant factory in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. It was just, it's horrible. It's horrible. You see just giant explosion. I'm like, oh, this sucks. People die. That sucks. That blows. It got me to think. I'm like, oh, I hope this kind of stuff doesn't happen too often. And then next thing you know, it's happening in other places as well. So we're just wondering, what is it? What's causing all the explosions, and why are we seeing so many of them on? Or is it just me? It might be just me and I don't know, maybe I saw one video and then the algorithm's like, oh, this guy likes explosions. I don't. I mean, for movies' sake, yes, I do. But in real life explosions, not a fan. Especially if people get hurt or injured, not a fan. But it got me to think, man, working in an explosive factory, that is one place where I would be. If I were working in an explosive factory, that's one of those jobs where your ass is sweaty all the time. I wouldn't be able to, people must be working with the clammiest hands, because you're working with explosives. It's not easy. It's not a paper mill. It's not you're not working construction. You're not in a cubicle typing. You're working with things could go wrong at any minute, at any second. It'd be the slowest workforce ever. It got me to think, if I was carrying the explosive there, I'd be, it would take probably a day for me to just get across one room with the materials. I don't know what they do. Wearing gloves, and you got to wear giant plastic gloves, hazmat suits. I don't know what goes on in there, but and then that happened. So it was an explosion there. I'm like, oh, this just sucks. Visually speaking, if it was a movie, cool explosions in movies. But it's real life with real life consequences, which I don't like. Nobody likes real life consequences until they happen to face them. What are the patterns that you're asking about? You're like, where did it happen again? There was one in Tennessee. That's the explosives power plant, or the explosives plant. And then there was Toronto had an explosion. We had an explosion, an auto collision center hold on. New Jersey had it. That's right. New Jersey had an explosion happen at an auto collision, or just an auto repair shop. I don't know what it was. It was a mechanic shop that exploded in New Jersey. Yikes. Now, something you don't expect exactly, on a daily basis, but if it was a movie, you'd expect it then. You're like, oh, it's just, a couple of guys working on a hot rod in a garage. Next thing you know, a competing garage comes over to spy on the said garage to see what they're putting under the hood. They want to lift that hood. They want to lift that skirt up and get a good look at your underneath your skirt. They want to check your vulva. They want to check that pantry. You feel me? They want to check those pipes. They want to get their fingers all wet and juicy and slip it up into your skirt, and metaphorical skirt, of course, but nonetheless a skirt. And then feel your vag. The vag is a metaphor for engine. And then boom, explosion. Who did it? Was it the guys that was visiting the garage, or was it an inside job? Cool in movies, not so cool in real life. And then the other one was an explosion here in Toronto at a construction site. Things they say happen in threes. I'm pretty much certain about that, or maybe more. Maybe we just get tired of counting and we're like, okay, if it's happening more than three, it's probably happening all over the place. It just got me to think, and explosions are, they're wonderful. Again, if it's a movie set, yes. If it's, if it's fireworks, yes. If it's a surprise party where you're surprising your wife with explosions in your male G-string, that's right. Why? I'm not judging you. Why are you wearing a male G-string? That's completely up to you. You're surprising your wife, and you stuck explosives, rockets, in your male G-string. So when you pop out of a cake in her office at her workplace, you can pop out, and then there's dynamite coming out of your ass and your cock. Smoke says, "I love you. Let's commit," and then you disappear because it's still work hours. She needs to get her work done. But nonetheless, the point is, those are exciting times. Explosions, and killing terrorists, fun. Accidents at work, no bueno. Thank you. That's just, again, patterns. Is it just all willy-nilly, or is there, or am I getting used to explosion? Am I getting used to seeing things explode? Is that what it is? Or is it just, again, coincidence? Nothing to see here. No need to worry about explosions. Just, you gotta nip it in the bud. You gotta watch out for things. You gotta also live your life, your beautiful, non-explosive life. That's right. What else is going on? This one impacts, different things, but it's kind of all connected in a sense. You could say that. I'm talking about Bill C9 in Canada. That either it wants to get passed or got passed. I don't know what it is, but it's related to the other items that I want to talk to you guys about. Bill C9, I believe it's a bill that they want to pass, or they might have already passed, concerning hate speech, and social media posts fall underneath this bad boy. So in Canada, I believe they're trying to push for social media posts getting you in trouble. You could be charged for social media posts. They want to, and I'm seeing things, I'm hearing things, I'm reading things, I'm seeing videos from over there in the UK and other places of the world where, it's, freedom of speech being constantly trampled on, and thousands of people getting arrested in the UK for posting things online or just saying things on the street. It's terrifying. These are, if this doesn't, do anything to you, well then, you might just fit in. You might just fit when they come in and, when they put on those comply uniforms and they tell you to eat and shit and walk in a certain direction, and then you'll be happy. You'll be happy then, which I could see the benefits of. Some people don't like, some people don't like being creative with their own lives. They like to just, if you like routines and just like, if you enjoyed wearing a uniform, if you attended a school when you were younger and they gave you a uniform and you like that, and I could see benefits of wearing a uniform. It doesn't occupy any time of having to come up with, what am I wearing today? It's the same thing every day. But then after a while, if everybody's doing it, it might turn into a dystopian nightmare. Is that what you want? You sick son of a bitch. I don't know. It's concerning. Yeah, it is, that happened. And then simultaneously, again, things happening in threes, or things happening just, in general. Doesn't matter. Don't count how many times they happened, but they happened. Alex Jones just had his appeal to have his defamation suit dropped, and it got rejected by the courts. $1.4 billion. This is, again, I've briefly spoken about this in the past. It's worth noting again that it got rejected. This is, again, slippery slopes. Again, I'm not here to defend him. I'm not here to say he did something right or wrong. All I'm saying is He's not a news agency. He's just one guy. He has a business. He spoke his mind. He had a hot take on the Sandy Hook's massacre. And he said it might have been, you guys probably know better than I do. He said it might have been agent provocateurs. It may have been a false flag operation. And family sued him, long story short, because of, the following aftermath that came, alleging harassment by other people who came out after them, made their lives extremely difficult. Long story short, they sued him for 1.4 billion, and that is, again, it's weird. It is weird. First of all, it's an astronomical number that most people can't afford that. $1.4 billion in damages for stating opinions that, and again, he's not a news agency, he's just one guy, it's baffling. It's alarming. Because again, this isn't even about Alex Jones. I've said this before, I'll say it again. This is not just about Alex Jones. This is about you, this is about me, it's about all of us. Having the freedom to say stuff, to do stuff, and to be wrong too. That's another one. It's not just about being right. It's not about, I don't know. It just got me, it's things happening simultaneously. It gets me a little bit, it doesn't make my asshole wet, I'll tell you that. It does not make this guy's asshole wet, and I like it to be, wetter than it is. So my nips, this doesn't get my nips hard. It makes my nips actually go quite soft. It makes my dick want to go inside my body, all right? That's what it does. You want that? You want my dick to go inside my body? Well, I'm glad you like that. You like dicks to go inside people's bodies. Well, I'm happy to see that you're slowly but surely trying to aim at that goal. But hopefully, I believe there are people, opposing these rules, laws, regulations, forms of punishment, symbolic punishment. Because if Alex Jones is if he's going to get in trouble, then again, that is a scary thing to have out there as precedent. And again, it's just one-sided. It's one group of people in charge, expert groups, professional lawmakers going out there and saying what could be said, what can't be said, that speech is hateful, hate speech, hate crimes. Slippery slope is all I'm saying, 1 second, and then if it was a fun slip and slide, I'm all for slip and slides. You lather up a little bit of Jell-O and pudding, and you put a couple of hot chicks in bikinis, and you roll out the slip and slide. Let's slip and slide all day, every day. And shall we have a couple of wardrobe malfunctions? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes. Sign this guy up for wardrobe malfunctions. Yes. Loose vag on the side. Yes, please. Nips flying in your eye socket. Thank you. That kind of slip and slide, I'm all for. With the kind where a group of people tells another group of people that he can't. Because again, where does it stop? Who controls the controllers? Who oversees the overseers? And it's a slippery slope is all I'm saying. And this water slide's got no water on it. It's just Indian burns through and through. Not the fun kind either. And then these things are happening, and simultaneously, what happens to your boy? What happens to this? Glad you asked me. Just put my cup down for a second, because how I be, dog. We just doing that shit on the streets, on the lines, on the podcast. Fucking internet, bad boy internet shit. Just trying to make it through another day, surviving, but want to get to thriving. You know what I mean? It's just, and then they come at your boy. How'd they come at your boy? I post my videos, if you've been with me from the get-go, on Instagram. I chop it up into pieces because it doesn't allow me to do the full-length videos, but the full-length videos are available on YouTube. That's where I've been posting. And I've got a little Patreon page in case anybody's curious, in case anybody wants to help your boy grow. You could, view them. You could like them if you like. You could leave a comment if you like. And then recently, I'm call me a late bloomer. Call me a, was I on TikTok before? No, because it was Chinese owned before. Boy has certain things about him that, that probably doesn't benefit him, but nonetheless, that's how he operates. I was like, no TikTok until it got bought by an American company, or ownership, came under ownership of a American. And is it better or worse? I don't know. It just made me feel a little bit better. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll get on the TikToks. What does your boy want to do? Again, if you've been with me from the get-go, you know what it is. I want to hopefully one day be able to become a stand-up comedian. Hopefully one day, that's the dream. And then I got this podcast that's helping me be creative, expressive, self-expression. And the main goal of it is just to make you laugh. Hopefully that's the main goal, to make you laugh. If I can do that, then fantastic. If I fail at doing that, then I'll come back and try to do a better job next time. That's the whole, there's no other, there's no agenda. And I talk about, again, if you've been with me, you know what. If you've just joined in today, you're like, what's this guy talk about? Literally everything and nothing. Whatever interests me on a daily, weekly basis, whether it's personal, societal, I have no preference. And if it catches my interest, I'll talk about it. If it doesn't, I'll skip it. That's as simple as it is. And everything is find the funny in it. That's the whole thing. Find the funny, find the joke. I literally have no other intention other than that. That's, So, boy starts posting on TikTok. Next thing you know, on the first couple of videos, all right, trying out the waters. My third video, I post, and then on TikTok, they allow, I believe, videos that are long as 60 minutes, an hour long. So I chop it. My videos are typically around an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15, 20, 30 minutes on this. So I chop it up in half. For, again, Instagram, I chop it up into 9, 10 little pieces so that it could get uploaded. On YouTube, it's just one full length videos. Patreon, again, it's just a link to the YouTube videos. And TikTok, I got to cut it in half. So it's like part 1 and part 2 of the same video. I post it on Wednesday, and the next thing you know, a few hours goes by. I just go in just to check and see what's going on, test out the waters, learning, growing independently, trying to do as much as I can by myself. And then I get a notice, you've been warned. You've been warned that part 2 of your video titled Naked Retards has been taken down. And I'm like, why? And then I had an option to appeal, but there was no, who am I talking? Who am I appealing to? Am I appealing to a person? Am I appealing to a robot or an artificial intelligence? Who am I appealing to? So I appealed it. It's just a button. It says appeal. And there was no room to ask questions as to why my video is being taken down or why am I getting this warning. It was just, do you want to appeal it? And I'm like, okay, let's appeal this bit. So I click appeal. Comes back a few hours later. No, appeal denied. Appeal denied. Your portion 2 of your video titled Naked Retards has been deemed as, hate speech. That's what it says. Hate speech. Or hate. It's just, and it left your boy kind of like, what's a man to do? What's a man? Because, we be out here trying to, a third video right there, dude. Just trying to get things going. Came back with a warning. My options are to take a little quiz online so that they remove the warning. The video won't get re-uploaded. I can't re-upload that video. If you want to watch the full-length video, that's where you can find it on YouTube. That's where that is. You can find the full length. Thank God for YouTube. At least, they haven't, it's gone better. It's gone better. Back in the COVID days, there was a little bit of a murky situation where they give you, you weren't supposed to talk about certain things. If you did, videos got tagged, flagged, this, that, and but it's been getting better. I don't know to what extent certain things operate on the back end of these platforms. I don't want to start speculating, but overall, YouTube's been, it's out there. It's available. You can upload videos, which is nice. No restrictions there as far as I'm concerned. Again, I don't know what goes on in the background. Could there be, trickery, a little bit of this, a little bit of, a little bit of dog carts going on in the background? I don't know. But, one can only be optimistic and only move forward with optimism and love in your heart and saying, we're all in this together and there's room for everyone. But yeah, TikTok deemed the second portion of my video as, it falls under some sort of, community guideline, breaching of community guidelines or whatever with hate. And I don't even know which part of it they found hateful. And just want to say there's no hate in this guy's heart. And, which is, it's weird because, it's 3 more warnings and then they take your account away. And I'm just starting. I'll continue to post on TikTok. We'll see how it goes. But I just want to fill you guys in and gals. If you've missed if you just joined in on TikTok, you're viewing, it's, you're like, what happened? It says part 1, Naked Retards. There's no part 2. That's why there's no part 2. You can watch the full length video on YouTube, of course. But again, it's slippery slopes, because what could, what is hate speech? These are scary times. If we let it go further, we gotta either nip it in the bud, take care of it, or risk having not a good situation to be in. Not a good situation to be in. You should allow freedom of speech. You should actually allow hate to exist as well. That's the beautiful part of it. If anybody wants to do that, that should be allowed. You shouldn't get rid of it, because getting rid of it creates pockets underground, overground, on other platforms that aren't regulated. It helps people radicalize. These things are not good, in my personal opinion, of course. But unless we want to radicalize and create silos underground, unless that's what we want to do, then yes, then it could work, and it could definitely work. Silence people, take away their freedom of speech, freedom of expression, then you could get people angry, and if we want that, then yes, we're doing a good thing. Yes, that's solid. Hell yeah. Could you hate hate speech though? You know what I mean? Could you hate speech? Is that allowed? What if you do a whole video, or just go express yourself? I hate speech. Would that be banned because it's hating on hate speech? Could you hate speech, or hating hate speech would just become, is that hate? Is that in of itself hateful, or does two hates just cancel out? You can't hate a hate, so it just becomes I'm confused, just a little confused again as to what point. Again, I'm not talking to an AI. I don't know who I'm talking. Am I talking to an AI representative on the other end of TikTok? Is it a person? I wish there was some, say a sentence or two that you found hateful. I don't even know what. Again, the entire purpose of this whole thing, ever since I've started, has just been to get people to, if I could put a smile on your face, if I could, make you laugh. That's the entire intention. There's nothing else to it. I make fun of myself, everybody else. That if anything happens, whether it's somebody, having a little situation, whether it's, again, it could be sports, it could be food, it could be pets, it could be, politics, it could be science. It's anything that happens that I find interesting. If I could find something funny in it, I go after it and try to find that funny. So yeah, I just want to bring that up, do a little bit of house cleaning, do a little bit of touching on the old bases, because if you're like, oh, what happened to your part 2 videos, bruv? That's what happened. But yeah, thanks to YouTube, I get to fucking post my videos there for hell yes. So that's fucking positives right there. Positives. Don't make me go to other social media platforms. I don't know what else is out there. I don't know. Could I go on? Do people post videos on X? Is that a thing? It's just, I'm doing everything all by myself. It is very, more platforms I have to get onto, and handling everything on my own does take up a lot of time. So no complaints, of course, but I like the creation. I like everything else is, comes after. So neither here or there. I just want to bring that up to your attention. If that does anything for you, if that got you wet, then that makes me happy. If it's made you want to walk into your bathroom and shave your pubic hair, then I know I've done my part. If it makes you aroused to the point where you want to grab your cock and slam it between a car door, then I know I'm on the right path. If it's made you want to not wear a tampon when you're bleeding and just stay at home and just kind of leave spots all around your place, then I know I'm doing my part. If it's making you, go to a body hair removal salon and for once put the individual who's working at the salon on the table and maybe wax their pubic hair for them, because if they're busy waxing everybody else's vages, anals, ball sacks, kneecaps, who's attending to their vages, titties, knees, shoulder? You know what I mean? If it makes you want to do, then I know I'm on the right path then. All right. What else is going on? I believe this has been happening over the past few days. Maybe has it been months? I'm not quite sure. It's been happening for some time now. But protests, anti-ICE protests in different parts of the U.S. and also pro-Palestine protests in different parts of the world, which are it's I'm not a protest guy. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a protest guy. It's too much. It's too much. I'm more of a, all your boy wants to do, like I said, I just want to make videos, hopefully one day, make a living out of making content, hopefully I can do stand-up. If, we'll see. Gonna keep trying. Never gonna stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Never gonna put you down. Gonna make you cry. The point is, yeah, your boy just wants to be an intergalactic sensation. That's all. That's all I want to do. Make you laugh, become an intergalactic sensation, make funny content for you guys and gals, accumulate extreme wealth, buy a couple of small nation states, just a modest nations, just a few tiny nation states, create underwater labs where we could potentially live, just something, nothing out of the ordinary, launch a couple of satellites in orbit, just want to extract a little bit of, precious minerals from outer space and make content. Just want to make you laugh. Nothing big, nothing grand. Just want to interview the first alien species. Just, bring them on the podcast. Slurpee on their multiple vaginas. Just, nothing. Just a regular guy trying to, again, make it one day at a time. Take things one day at a time, one step at a time. Nothing crazy. Just wanna, move around a couple of the old planets, because it's been, just try to rearrange the feng shui of the solar system if I can. Just, nothing out of the ordinary. Just wanna drill a giant hole. Just wanna drill a giant hole in the earth from one side to the other and pass a long rope through it and kind of just go just to hear that sound. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of, just trying to achieve what I can while I'm here. So that's what we're even talking about. That's right. Protest. So yeah, I don't have time for protests. I don't have time. I do get it. I do appreciate, when it actually matters. Civil rights movements. I wasn't. I was busy. I was busier. I was in my dad's nuts. I don't even think he was a young man probably then. I was in his nuts. Fucking working in the nutsack of my dad, just hammering away, chiseling away with the other sperm with a little pickaxe, just trying to make it through a day, getting soot on my little sperm face, and it was but I put the message out. And I said, let it be known in the universe that I have a dream. And then apparently this guy, MLK, he caught wind of it, and then he went out there and gave the whole "I've got a dream" where black kids and white kids playing together. But again, I'm not here to be came up with the whole idea and whatever. We'll give credit where credit is due. Rest in peace, MLK. But the whole point of this is, what am I trying to do? Yes, I don't have time to attend protests, and if it's for the ICE ones, if they're taking illegals, I don't see anybody wanting how would anybody, I'm trying to figure out, how would anybody want to defend that in terms of, because you can't have just millions of people walking in. No nation state would stand for this. It just doesn't make any sense in my mind. Now, if there's a few people in the midst of this getting, locked up or taken away by mistake or accident, or sometimes maybe even on to, who knows? I don't know. That aspect of it does suck. It does, but getting all, because I see people getting, getting into scuffles, going to ICE facilities. I'm like, don't, life is so fresh out there. And again, I'm not in anybody's shoes. I can't speak from anybody's experience. I don't know what anybody, on an individual basis is going through. Maybe you've had a relative or a loved one or a family member or a friend get taken. I don't know. But again, trying to find the, low-key, trying to find the humor. That's the whole goal of this thing. If you want to, or even the pro-Palestine protest. I think in Spain, things got out of hand the other day. I saw a video, just people damaging property, setting things on fire. If, that's if you want to have fun with it in terms of, again, I'm not telling you what to do or not to do. Definitely, I wouldn't do any of this. Again, I'm not creating wonderful content to once again just become a humble intergalactic sensation. That's all. Just But low key, if it was, let's use the analogy of a zombie apocalypse. If there was a zombie apocalypse, what do you do? What do you do? They're either slow or they're fast, and there's no remedy for the time being. What do you run? Or do you blend in? Mon frere. You blend in, you son of a bitch. You blend in, that's what you do. So to have fun with it, if you're worried about getting taken away by ICE, or put on ICE costumes and get out there. Again, joking. Do not impersonate police officers or law enforcement, but I'm just saying, low-key, to have fun with it. You could dress up for the time being, for the next 7 months, 8 months, 2-3 years. I'd say if you were worried about getting locked up or taken away, dress up as ICE. Let's go get some bad guys. Again, don't do anything I say, please. Let's remember why we're doing this. Or again, if it's pro-Palestine, certainly getting your point across is definitely, yes, it definitely helps to look erratic, cause a scene. Burning things definitely gets your point across. It definitely helps the cause, whatever the cause may be. Again, low-key, if it were to, again, use the zombie apocalypse, again, if times are, why don't you wear a kippah for a little while? That's what they're called, right? The little hat. Why don't you wear a kippah for a little while? And if everyone's wearing a kippah, then who's chasing who then? Think about that. But again, don't do any of these things. I just have fun ideas in my mind. I'm just thinking if things were, anybody's coming after anybody, again, it's easier. Is it easier to run or join in and seemingly run out again after a little while? If everybody's wearing the same uniform, which brings me back to the uniform, If everybody's wearing the same uniform, it does suck because you don't have the sense of, I guess, individuality, but then you don't have to worry about anybody chasing you because you're all the same. Then that makes a terrible argument for uniformity and conformity, which I don't like. The point of this is to, again, I don't know what the point is, man. Lay low, fucking chill a little bit. Don't set things on fire. These are the, common sense. That's not funny. Set everything on fire. That's kidding. Do not listen to me, please. Listen, but enjoy for, again, entertainment purposes only. Set your baby on fire now. Make a difference, please. Joking TikTok. I'm just joking. Jesus Christ, man. What else is going on? Denny the gorilla in San Diego, or Santiago. There's a gorilla named Denny. People went to visit Denny in the zoo at San Diego. Denny got all excited, and I actually don't know if Denny's a male or female gorilla. It doesn't matter. The point is that maybe, I don't know. Would have been nice to be able to, I do like painting pictures for people visually. If I could have said, knowing full well if it's a male gorilla with his giant male gorilla cock, one gorilla cock in one hand and a banana in the other, he'd flung himself to the viewing glass and cracked the viewing glass, scaring the onlookers and visitors to the zoo. I just want to take this time to say that animals that are typically in the wild, when taken and put in facilities like zoos or little parks or little for your viewership, for your entertainment, don't let the glass get between you and then. I don't want anybody to see this instance of Denny the gorilla attacking the viewing glass, cracking the viewing glass and scaring people. This is just animals being animals. Please don't get intimidated. I want you to, next time, if he continues to bang on the glass, stay close. They are emitting to let you know that they want you to get closer. They're super excited about being in confined spaces. They love it. Get closer. If the viewing glass does crack, do not run. That just, give into it. Give into the experience, please. let the gorilla break through the glass, and if they just, when they just want to ragdoll you a little bit, a little bit of low-key ragdoll in for like 5, 10, 15, they'll be bored and on to the next thing. So just let them ragdoll you, your family members, especially vulnerable family members. If you got somebody with some sort of physical impediment, put them in the line of fire first. That always makes for grade A entertainment. They're already paralyzed. You know what I mean? Neck below, they're paralyzed. Let the gorilla have its way with your aunt whose neck is paralyzed, or below the neck is all of her body. She's just a vegetable. Does it even matter what the gorilla does to your entirely paralyzed aunt? I don't think so. Let her live a little bit. Maybe she'll get knocked in the right part of her brain and it'll all just fucking click back. You never know. People get hit by lightning or a hammer strike to the head, and next thing you know, they're fucking doing algebra in Chinese, which is, how does the brain work, all that jazz. So let your aunt have a little bit of fun. I say, and the cost of the glass getting replaced and repaired is just, I say remove the glass. Because the people keep coming back to the zoos, and the animals seem to, every time they get a chance, want to make a little, they want to make a go at your face. Let them do their part as well. Please engage with the animals up close. Get into the personal space of animals, whether it be lions, tigers, gorillas, alligators, giant snakes, any sort of tiny insects that are venomous and deadly. Venomous snakes get covered in an entire box of, just sit in a coffin and have them pour spiders and venomous spiders, black widows, just crazy scorpions with, deadly venom, and let them just, have a little bit of fun, live a little bit is what I'm trying to tell you. So yeah, in defense of Denny the gorilla, it wasn't anything. Yeah, let's not get all judgmental and be like, oh, what an aggro gorilla. It's just gorillas. I would say that if you're disheartened by this fact and you're walking away from the zoo, I like to call you out right now and say that's puss behavior. You want to go back and yeah, remove the barriers. Let us get closer with nature, please. You like that shit? Yeah. Good. Some more of this. Oh, you like that? Yeah, man, there's no hate in this fucking podcast. There's no hate in... do I hate anyone or anything? Fucking, if push comes to shove, those, dirty Iranians, aka Persians, dirty Persians. All right, just hate those guys. And just those guys. I hate, the Jews. Just hate the Jews. The whites and the blacks, and just the whites and the blacks, South Americans, anybody with a tan, anybody who's also missing a tan, if you're too light or too dark, so outside of that, Asian, non-Asian, Caucasian, mixed children, mixed adults, people with afros, people with straight hair, people with blonde hair, people with brown hair. I hate people with brown hair and brown eyes. Outside of that, there's literally, like, this podcast is just short people, midgets, fucking really tall people. Hate really tall. Anybody who's above 6 feet tall, I fucking hate you. But outside of this little niche group, everybody else is just, fatties. Fucking hate fat. If you're fat, I fucking hate your guts. If you're fat and you're gay, God, but outside, but if you're too slim, if you're slimmer than myself, then it's not. If you're bulimic, anemic, if you are, if you got diabetes type 1, I fucking hate your guts. But outside of this tiny little group, Arabs, Palestinians, people from Chile, specifically the Chileans, God, I hate you guys. Outside of this tiny little, but everything else is, if you're from Vietnam, or again, if you're an amphibian, if you're a creepy crawly, but outside of this, again, animals, God, animals, don't even get me started on. Outside of that, birds, they think they're better than us, so I don't, I'm not too fond of birds. But, again, outside of this tiny little group, just Jokes, all jokes, please. Please, TikTok. You must understand. It's a case of mistaken identity. Read in between the lines, the nuance. There's nuance in his podcasts. You got the wrong man. You got the wrong man. The point is that what were you even talking about? That's right, Madagascar. All jokes, please. Please, everybody. Madagascar's president just he flees and then the military takes over. I don't understand that. A grown man fleeing. I don't even know what. I've heard of fleas. I'm not quite sure where they come from, to be honest with you. But they said the Madagascar president flees and the military takes. So is it? You hear sometimes people get fleas from dogs. I think dogs create fleas. They say that dogs are fleas manufactured. So he got fleas. I don't know where he got them from. Or maybe he went to the flea market is where he got the fleas from. Or maybe he was not into like bathing or showering or grooming and just basic hygiene, not a fan probably, and so he flees. That's what it says. He flees, the military takes over. What if he were to do his job with the fleas? Is that, or are we an anti-flea society? Do we hate fleas? Low-key, if we hate fleas, then let your boy be. Let me know. If we hate fleas together as a collective, then I will get behind you or in front of you, depending if it helps me become an intergalactic sensation, then I will get in front of it. If it doesn't, I'll be somewhere nearby where you can find me. Working all the time. I believe the fleas cause itchiness. Itchiness can be annoying for the individual. I don't know how this itchiness impacts larger society, of course, but he did have to step away. Is there an ointment that we could give to the Madagascarian president? What would we give? Is there a lotion? Could we lube him up? Ointments, little, is there a particular animal within his compound? Is it a presidential palace or is it like a, often, do we need to fumigate because if he's got the fleas, what's keeping the military from catching fleas? If it's pets, let's take care of those guys, because let's take care of our pets. So make sure we don't spread is it is it cleanliness? I'm a little bit confused is all I'm asking, but he fled. That's the past tense of fleas, or he flees. Fleas is plural for flea, as flezzes. He flezed is what it. I believe that's what he did. So I don't know what's going on. But that's, military took over, and that is that sucks for Madagascar. And people, people went out there, this whole Gen Z protest globally going, and be careful what you do, because again, it's one thing to be like, times are this and that, we need to protest. You get rid of something thinking that you're gonna do better. Sometimes, sometimes it works. Rarely does it, sometimes it works. No, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes things go horribly wrong and you're like, oh man, the thing we had was kind of low key. So the point of this is, do not just look at little tiny fleas and be like, oh, this is a cause for a revolt or a revolution or whatever. Little tiny oscillations, not drastic ones, little tiny. Unless we want to do drastic oscillations, then let's fucking, I'm all about it. Put me in front of it as long as it helps me become, once again, tiny, just, nothing crazy, just an international / intergalactic overnight sensation with trillions of dollars in wealth and access to any room? Because they say life's a game and your boy wants to go to different buildings. Just, beep boop, right there, access granted, thank you. But that's what it is. So there you go. That's, ladies and gentlemen, watch out for fucking fleas out there. Watch out for fleas. What else is going on? Nancy Pelosi recently just came out. Beautiful Nancy. Beautiful, juicy titty Nancy. Juicy titty Nancy Pelosi came out and told a reporter to shut up. Shut up. She said that, shut up. Because the reporter, I believe, asked her a question. I'm not even sure what they asked. I think they asked, are you worried about people coming after you and asking why you didn't release the National Guards during January 6th? And she turned and she said, shut up. Shut up. All right, and that's, reporters, take note. All right, do not mess with Nancy, juicy titty Nancy Pelosi. All right, she's old, but still filled with lots of life in her tits, which is good. The rest is, I don't know what's going on with the rest of it, but I have heard there is a new trend going amongst, it's celebrities are doing, rich folks are doing it. It's called the 35 Forever. It's not a lift. It's a glide. It's a glide where they do it's a precision plastic surgery to make you look younger. It's Forever 35. Again, I saw a brief video just this morning actually, which could make you look like you're 35 forever. You're dead inside. You're dead inside. You're rotten inside. It is, insides of you smell like 75 dead cats and raccoons who have just rotted inside you. That's what it smells like inside of you, because you're really old. You're like 1,000 years old. But outside, you could look like 35 forever. Sometimes it works. Other times, again, they are using the gliding technique. I don't know what that means. They said we don't lift or pull the skin. We rather use the gliding technique. I don't know what it means. Point being, marvelous tits. The rest, if need be, we could do a Forever 35. And do not get in her face, all right? She is busy making bank, doing insider trading, and it's important you stay the fuck away from Nancy Pelosi and quit bothering her and other people as well, all right? Once you get some insider information, quit complaining about it, all right? Everybody's making bank from the stock market. Quit complaining about it. Make money out there by doing some insider trading, please. There's a paved path for you. It's not like before where there was no paved path. You see the path? Get on it. It's not the job of a reporter to report. What is this? What else is going on? I believe, speaking of reporters, reporting, things happening. Pentagon reporters, some of them, I believe, I don't know what's going on in Pentagon, but some reporters apparently walked out instead of walking back in, because I believe there's new mandates in the Pentagon for reporters and how they're supposed to conduct themselves within the vicinity and in the Pentagon. So there's new rules and regulations. I believe you're supposed to be wearing badges and cards. All right, that's the first thing that I know about this situation. If you're a reporter, you got to be wearing badges. Second thing that I remember you got to do is walk around in areas you're supposed to be walking around in. All right, some areas I believe are off limits. You can't be willy-nilly just wandering around like a wandering dervish, just like a twirling dervish and asking questions to employees that are, if you're asking employees questions in regards to either classified or unclassified information or documents, again, I don't know what is going on. Some people walked out, some people who couldn't cope with it. And again, it does make sense though. I don't know, unless, on the one hand, you could say you've got to leave it all willy-nilly, just anybody could waltz in and just ask any questions and be a twirling dervish in the middle of the Pentagon and, record this and picture that and photograph this and photocopy that and ask questions and take classified documents and unclassified documents, reveal it to the public. And, well, could we have that? Could we have extreme ultimate transparency. Well, we don't live in a utopia, do we? That's what I'm learning. That's what we're all learning. We can't have that. We can't have that because it's against certain areas. But again, I see both sides. I see both sides. That there should be literally no secrets at all. But then you should have secrets. There should definitely be departments with deep, heavy secrets, extremely thick secrets, because we have adversaries out there in the world. So you learn as we go along. We learn together. There's adversaries in the world. All right. Can't just have willy-nilly information with a twirling dervish walking around and just dispensing it all willy-nilly. All right, so we can't have that. You need a badge, certain rooms to stay out of it. Stay out of certain rooms. If there's a sock on the knob, stay out of that room. Or what is it? Is it just... And the other one, documents. Be careful what documents you go out there because it's a matter of national security again. So yeah, that happened in the Pentagon, and it's tough being a reporter, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's tough being a reporter. It's also tough being in the Pentagon. It's tough for everybody as we're learning. Are we all just the same? Trying to be international galactic superstars who reach out to aliens and do podcasts intergalactically? Are we all just the same? Perhaps more or less. What are they talking about? I don't know. The point is that we're here. It's Friday. And I got a sip of this shit right here. Maurice. Let's skirt, shall we? Let's skirt. I told you the pros and cons of both sides. So you make up your mind. And we'll merge with the singularity together, one step at a time, okay? You'll get access when we all get access. And then if it's on a need-to-know basis, then I'll stay on a need-to-know basis until you're told otherwise. Or something, I don't know. God, I love documents. Classified, unclassified, just... a dossier, you want to get your boy wet, don't you? Start talking like that shit, right? A dossier this, dossier that. Need to know this. Need to know that. Oh, fucking. All right. Stay focused. God, I got hot in here for a second. Dossier. Just say that 5 times. Dossier. Maurice Fox of Ferguson. I didn't look into see where Ferguson is. I'm thinking it was somewhere in the U.S. Ferguson County, Ferguson Street, Ferguson, town of Ferguson. A small town, or a medium-sized town. A large town by the name of Ferguson. A father by the name of Maurice Fox. He's recently been charged for going on a bus with his young daughter. Apparently his daughter was being bullied on the bus. The kid touched his daughter or punched his daughter. I don't know the deets. I don't know the whole story. But then he was there on the bus, told his daughter to punch her bully. Daughter proceeded to punch her bully. Maurice got charged. Brings me, because I don't have children, but I do think, man, who knows what holds out in them. Maybe when I'm in my 40s, maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I won't. But it is something to think about. What do you do? Because I was a child once, and what do you do with, if a bully is punching your kid or touching your kid and making him uncomfortable, because he got charged with things. I don't know what, you hear that. If somebody punches you, punch him in the face. If somebody punches you, you punch him back. You've heard that. And this guy did this. He told his daughter to punch the other kid, and then he got charged. I don't know why he got charged, because that's basically it. I've never heard this version of it where if somebody punches your kid, you tell them, hey, just take it. Stand there and take it. Never been told that one. So I don't know what's going on with this. Is it because he was on the bus with his child and oversaw the punching? Is it because we got to get down? We got to know things. At least let a fella know. You know what I'm talking about? At least let it be known. If it's whether whatever it is. If you want something, whether it's if it's rules, laws, regulations, whether it's in real life, social media platform, whatever. At least let people know what it is. You can tell your kid to punch another kid as long as you're not there. Because the kid might might punch the other kid once, but if you're there, they might be like, oh, let me show dad. I'd want to do that. I'd want if my dad was around, not around, he's dead. No thanks to you. You had nothing to do with it. It's all good though. It's all good. So we'll just let bygones be bygones. And we'll just let straight gons be straight gons. And we'll just let homosexual gons be we'll just let gons be bygones. And we'll just let, but that's all right. The point we're even talking about, that's right. Do you tell your kid to punch another kid? Hashtag free Maurice Fox. Hashtag free. I'm going to take my stance on this one because, again, as someone who ponders about things, fatherhood is difficult. Kids or anybody shouldn't really be punching anybody unless, again, it's in a UFC match, or unless it's a hockey fight in the middle of a hockey fight, or unless it's spousal abuse. I'm kidding. Jokes, of course. Take jokes. Jesus Christ. Unless you're hitting an elderly woman or or if you're like 250-pound raw beef of a man and you just, take it out on like, I don't know, a 15-year-old who can't defend himself. Jokes, again, please, TikTok. Yeah, man, you're not supposed to be hitting people unless it's your, young daughter. Jokes, please. You're not supposed to hit people unless they're crippled in a hospital bed and unless they're broken and every part of their body is broken. That's the only time you're supposed to hit people. Please, jokes, please. Remain calm. Yeah, so the point of this is to, again, hashtag free Maurice Fox. I think he did the right thing by telling her. Maybe he should have, tell your kid to hit the other, but like quickly walk off the bus. Or wait for your kid to come tell, because there's always another day too. Let your kid get punched in the face once, have them come tell you the story in your own privacy. You can tell them to punch the other kid in the face, and you've really not told them because nobody's been there to hear you or say you, did it and told your kid to punch it. And that could just be between kids being kids. Hey, punch me in the face, I want to punch you in the face, or whatever. You might want to, the kid might see you, might want to overdo it. Am I making dad proud? I just fucking going in the temple right there, What if the other kid turns retarded then? Because, because your kid wants to prove to you and make you proud. I got you, dad. I hear you, dad. Fucking elbow to the temple. And the other kid's laying there fucking drooling from the mouth for the rest of her life. Well, she should have been a bully from the beginning. It's difficult. It's difficult for everybody out there. Everybody out there is just trying to start, just become an internationalist / global / intergalactic overnight sensation. And we're all in this together. No, what you want to do is put those two children in a boxing ring, give them boxing gloves, and watch them spar it out so that they can not get hurt, but learn things together. And oftentimes bullies and they're bullied become friends. Oftentimes they grow up together. Oftentimes they go through stages of life together. They could become best friends, grow up, go to university, college, start becoming fond of each other, let their guards down. Maybe something happens between them. Maybe it becomes intimate, sexual. And those are adults. So you never know. Or they could go their separate ways, because sometimes you just go your separate ways. What are we talking about? That's right. Hashtag free Maurice Fox. Right there. What are we talking about? Mr. Zach Bowermaster. Or Barmaster, I'm not quite sure. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name. Zach Bowermaster. I believe he's a principal out of, I want to say Lancaster. I might be a small town of Lancaster, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I believe this is in the U.S. And this is a beautiful story because oftentimes, it's explosion this or fight that, or this is something beautiful. Things like this don't get highlighted in real life and online either. So every once in a while, if I do come across something that again genuinely touches me, I'd like to be able to say, hey, shout out, yes, let's fucking shout out to Principal Zach Bowermaster out there doing it in a small town of Lancaster, where he goes around. He was caught on video, and I saw this. I'm like, oh my god, they caught another one of, and I didn't even know what they caught. For just the title of the video said they caught another They go, here's another principal caught on camera. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what am I about to watch? What did they catch him doing? You know what he's doing? You know what Zach does? You know what Principal Bowermaster does? He goes around, he's been caught on camera high-fiving the students of his school out there. Fist bumping and high-fiving and knowing their names and calling them by their names and building up their self-esteem and shit. He's doing that. It's been caught on camera. It got me nervous. Initially, it got me really nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the Pope says recently, do not use clickbait in journalism. And that was a little bit low-key. I could see why you say that, but also it is a competitive world out there. You do need to, I'm like, oh my God, they caught the principal on camera doing, what did he do? I clicked on it. I'm like, should I even be watching this? I clicked on, he was high-fiving. It was good. It was good. It's a positive one. So there, I don't know. Pope's not out there fucking, trying to become an intergalactic sensation overnight. I guess I believe he's American, but we don't got a commie Pope in the midst of all things, do we? Because low-key, hashtag low-key, gotta get the message out, low-key, competitive videos, low-key, competitive world, low-key, what are we even talking about? Low-key, who's building their self-esteem, low-key. And they found that there was somebody in school that they could rely on. That's beautiful. Principal Zach Bowermaster, shout out to you. Because I remember the time when you were young, God, would have been, it was so nice. Every once in a while, it didn't happen too often. The majority of teachers, it's just another job, whatever. Every once in a while, you might come across one teacher or a principal or somebody in the school system, whatever grade you're going through. And they were cool, man. They were cool. It was either a female or a male, doesn't matter. But they were cool and it just it did make an impact. It did make an impact. I've been lucky to have, maybe a few of these individuals come in my mind. It was the little things. It's the little things that they're either a cool teacher or a principal or, could be a guidance counselor. It's just really nice to see that. So him taking that time to go high-five these little kids and, just call them by their names and just let them know that there's somebody in this. That's fucking wonderful. I think stories like this deserve way more attention than, because it's easy to be like, oh, look at this thing that happened, that's terrible, and then everybody's like, oh no. You know how we are, you know how we do things. But hopefully he gets attention like that and leads to more principals or more people, not to say every job is difficult. I'm not saying, but there's good and bad in every realm and profession. And not to say that teachers are bad or anything. I didn't want it to come across that way. I'm just saying most teachers are just teachers. They don't, you don't think of it as anything. But the good ones, really, a few that you might be lucky enough to encounter, really make an impact. And that's important. So how can we get them funding? How can we get them extreme funding? Can somebody dump a lot of money in that school right now so that he could, I don't know, can we give him more hands? Could we do some sort of surgery on his body so he can do more hands to high-five the kids more? Can we do that? Can we give him 8 hands? Think about the high fives. The number of high fives will 8-fold. 8x the high fives for Principal Zach Bowermaster. Or just give the school money to buy computers or laptops or iPads or whatever school supply. I don't know. It touched my heart inside. Or it was nice. Thank you. What else is going on? Just give me a second, because hold on a sec. Oh, this one is exciting. This one got me. CIA. Fucking the motherfucking CIA is doing shit. We just got a report authorizing covert operations in Venezuela. The CIA is doing covert operations. They said that they've gotten authorized to do covert operations in Venezuela. I like covert operations. I love it. I'd like to be a part of it. Although I don't understand why we say it's covert, because if we say we're doing covert operations, then doesn't it become overt then if we say it? But that's all we said, though. That's all we said. That's all we said. I would love to do covert operations. If we could, again, just trying to make some people laugh if I can. Just trying to, again, overnight global / international / intergalactic sensation with covert / overt operation capabilities. Low key, a little bit of camo. Low key, a little bit of war paint on my face. Low key, a little bit of stealth. Low key, a little bit of blending in. Low key, a little bit of standing out. Low key, covert operations. You know how it is. It gets me excited because again, growing up, being extremely impressionable and having TV in my life and building great bonds with different characters and different types of movies out there. Fucking spy shit, yes, please. James Bond movies, yes. Thrillers, yes. Action, yes. Covert, yes. Overt, also yes. CIA, they've done some foul things, but they're also what? They're, again, as we're learning, necessary. That's right. So got me excited. It's doing covert operations. I would so be down to do a covert operation to overthrow or underthrow. I could start with, we don't need to, I get it, again, we don't have to go like, oh, this guy just, wants to overthrow. I could help underthrow. It's very similar to a basketball, is when you start when you're young, you start with the underhand. When you're really young, you start with the underhand, as long as you get the ball in the basket. So maybe not full-blown overthrow, unless you're like, unless you want to, then I would be, covert, ask me a question. Are you doing a covert operation for the CIA? No. Boom, right there, dude. No. Not bad, right? Not bad, right there. Not bad. What's a covert operation and what's the CIA? Say what now? Because it's covert, dude. I just fucking, what? What are you even talking about? Who's this guy? Who's this, just like, what is this fella asking questions about? I don't even know I don't even know what the CIA is, again, just gets me excited. Are we gonna hang from ceilings? Because I'd like to hang from a ceiling, just come down with a rope. Covert though, fucking covert. Okay, wearing nothing. Wearing either nothing, just pure, I could be covert in the nude. Trust me, dude, I could be covert in the nude. Or I would like to wear a black turtleneck and maybe not too much bling bling, but a little bit of, maybe let's just like a low key, Cuban link chain over the, I don't know, maybe, okay, fine. For the it is a covert operation, all right, well, no Cuban link over the black turtleneck, but low key, black pants, black shoes, black turtleneck. I'm ready to go covert, dude. Okay, hang from a ceiling, hide inside a tree, come out of a trash can. That's not really a trash can. It's just actually a door to an underground bunker, which is actually an overground bunker, which is inside a sandwich shop, which is inside a car dealership, which is inside a housing complex, which is inside a manufacturing company that creates shoes and sportswear, which is inside the post office. Covert, dude, where are we? Is that an elevator, or is it a regular elevator, or is it an elevator that goes from one side of the world to the other? It's actually a subway system, not an elevator. Or is it what? Fucking covert, dude, right there. I could blend into the background. You just let me know what the setting is. Like, you give me a backdrop of what Venezuela looks like. I will blend in like Venezuela or any other country we want to do that. I mean, like, just a little bit of, can we, just a car with gadgets, a seat that massages your boy, and that's just for good, you need a massage sometimes. That's not that feature could just be available to the public, a massaging car seat, because I know you got the heated. I got the heated right now, dog. I'm talking about that covert shit, a little bit of that neck massage or neck masseur. How about a covert masseur in my covert car? Somebody to covertly massage me And by massage me, I mean milk me. No anal, just jerk me off. I should just want to clarify. No anal pokage for this guy who's more than willing to underthrow. Go covert, go overt, go extremely overt, right in your face. What are we even talking about? The point is, it got me excited. We're doing it. We got the authorization. So I guess the president of Venezuela I believe his days are numbered, dude, because you don't fucking understand. It's fucking CIA, dog. You can't fucking, it's the top of the top shit. I'm pretty sure there's other top shit without any names, no name agencies. But until, globally speaking, it's up there. It's fucking up there. The point is, it's fun. It's fun. I like to be a part of it somehow. We could all enjoy a little bit of action. I like action, dog. What do you want me to tell you? I don't enjoy action. You want me to fucking... I thought we were being transparent. I thought we were... Do I get a grenade belt? Just fucking... How many grenades fits on a grenade belt? I'm a waist 30, dude. 30? Could be 10? 5 in the front, 5 in the back. Doesn't matter. I'll let the pros do the thing. I just want to let you know that I'm here, available. So you gotta be a team player. You gotta be a player. What's up, player? Player to player. You know who is not a player? You know who is not a player? John Bolton, the former national security advisor, being indicted. I don't know why we spell indicted with a C and just fucking forego the whole indicted. It doesn't matter. The point is that he's been indicted, if I'm not mistaken, for mishandling, again, sensitive documents. Classified, unclassified, don't know. Mishandling documents. A man using female hands, mishandling documents. That is, you're saying one thing and doing another. That is misleading people. That is, if you're a male, you should be manhandling documents. You should not be mishandling documents. So for that, sir, for the crime of mishandling documents whilst being a full-blown male, you are being indicted. Yeah, because you got to be careful with these documents. It's important. If you're a male, use your male hands. Do not go pretending you got female hands, freaking out the documents, have the documents potentially lead or leak to foreign adversaries, because this world is just a tricky world out there, motherfuckers. Gotta be careful. Gotta be vigilant. If anybody starts messing around with classified or unclassified documents, then the whip shall be whipped. Echo. Yeah. Also, yeah. So he's being indicted on the crimes of mishandling documents, and maybe there's more to it. I'm pretty sure there might be more to it. Could this be looking at everything from all different angles? Pros of this: if anybody mishandles documents while being full-blown males, there will be consequences. Also, from the other side of things, be careful out there if you're dealing with documents in general. Other crimes that he is being indicted for: impersonating a walrus. Let us not forego that one. All right. John Bolton, former national security advisor. We all know what's going on. We see it. It's right in front of our eyes, man. Trying to pretend to be a walrus. Trying to grow a mustache long and thick enough to impersonate walrus out there. I'll see you in the interrogation room, John Bolton. Or walrus, trying to be a Batman villain, like the Penguin? You want to go as the Walrus? There's a room waiting for you. There's a table in that room. On the one side of the table, you'll be sitting down, John Bolton. On the other side of the table, I'll be sitting down, not conducting anything covert or overt. Me? As for me, I'll be sipping on a Coke. Coke, just one Coke, not cock. Sipping on a Coke. Coca-Cola. Quenching my thirst. You? Thirsty. Dry. Borderline dehydrated. Starting to spiral, are we, John? Uncomfortable yet? How's the lighting? You're sensitive to light, John? Because we could make the lights brighter. Oh, you like the lights brighter? Then we'll dim it. Dim the lights. How do you feel now, John? Happy about what you did? What'd you do, John? Does this make you uncomfortable? I could go lower. Lower. John. I'm sipping on my Coke, John. The cameras are turned off. No one can hear you. It's a padded room. See where I'm going with this shit? Johnson & Johnson, it's a family company. Johnson & Johnson is being sued in the UK by over 3,000 individuals who are claiming that the baby powder created by Johnson & Johnson actually caused cancer, and they knew this from the 60s, and they sold it to people despite the fact. Now, this shit is crazy. I don't even know where to begin with this one, because apparently Johnson & Johnson is in the business of making baby powder. What? What? Did I just hear this? Are we in some sort of stimulation? Are we being stimulated? Because this is... You're telling me a company got out there for... It's 2025. It's 60s, it's 40, 60, 65 years. They've been creating baby powder. And not just regular baby powder with cancer in it, cancer-causing agents, asbestos in the bit. And people are buying the baby powder and using the baby powder and getting cancer. Hold on a sec. Let me get this straight. If I'm not, let me just, okay, because this shit is. So you're telling me, you out there, you're telling me there's a company, let me get this straight. There's a company out there that's creating baby powder. They're taking babies, turning them into powder. I don't know through what routine or regimen, but they're turning these babies into powder. Is it some sort, are you cremating these babies? Is Johnson & Johnson cremating babies, making baby powder, infusing it with cancer and asbestos, selling it to people out there who are seeking to buy baby powder, which is, again, if I'm not mistaken, babies. We're talking about human babies. Is what you're telling me right now, right? You're telling me right now we're taking human babies, grinding them, turning them into a fine dust, powder, selling it to people who are openly buying said baby powder. What? And you're being sued right now by these baby powder connoisseurs. I don't know what kind of sick world do we live in where we got a company that's, these are humans we're talking about. They're babies. God damn it. Probably the most vulnerable population out there. You're telling me you got the nerves, the audacity to look me in the eye and say we're turning our babies into dust bunnies, putting it in jars and selling it to the masses. And it's not just regular, pure, uncut baby powder. It is infused with asbestos, and motherfuckers out there are going out there asking for baby powder in broad daylight, and no one said anything before. Is this, what is going on here? All right, and you're getting sued for it. I'd shut the fuck up if I were the people buying the baby powder. You are purchasing baby powder, you're complaining about catching cancer. Can you hear yourself, man? Are you? Hello? Hello? Wow. That's like buying substances in the 80s and 90s and then calling the cops to complain about the quality of the substance. And maybe you bought heroin in the 80s and then it wasn't the best heroin. And you call the cops and say, hey, my heroin dealer does not give me pure good heroin. What is going on here is all I'm asking. Professor Kaufman of Buckingham University has come out and said recently, due to his recent research, non-binary identity is no longer cool amongst the youth who are going to colleges and universities. In fact, it peaked around 2023 and it is on the decline. No longer deemed cool. Non-binary and other, apparently it was, I don't know what's going on, but apparently this might lead to, this is the way things work, I'm guessing. You have certain things in any category, any aspect of life where people do it a certain way, and after a while people get tired and might want to change it up, and then they go in a different direction. Oscillation back and forth, this, that, and the other, bringing us to gender, sex, gender stuff that's been, took up a lot of time and energy in the past 10 years, it's safe to say, 10 years, 10, 15 years, became a thing. Sex, gender became a whole thing. Put your pronouns in this and call yourself this, that, and anything but a regular male, female. That was the thing. But apparently things are turning around. Apparently, again, it's just, so this, I guess, shows that we do oscillate from, left, right, and center, this, that, the other. One can only assume what's on the other side of this is that, of course, if the younger generations are going back to just calling themselves male, female, we can only assume that they'll be going after maybe perhaps things that were done in the past that was deemed uncool, like starting families, like looking to find a career path for themselves in a sense, like potentially becoming intergalactic overnight sensations who have a reach so far that it reaches extremely far, and perhaps they do the first podcast with an alien, perhaps, maybe, and then maybe. The point is, it might have just been a social contagion, a lot of it. Not to say that it doesn't exist for a lot of people out there as well. It might exist for a lot of people out there as well. Majority of people it doesn't, but for some, it's safe to say there's a small portion of the population, it's safe to say that might identify as something else other than the, I guess, quote unquote traditional male, female gender and all that stuff. But yeah, the opposite is probably gonna happen, which means again, yeah, kids are gonna go into university colleges and maybe start working and start families. But if it continues on that same trajectory, maybe in the future rather, we could see. What if it goes really trad? What if it goes super trad? How far back trad does it go? You know what I mean? Start having families at a younger age. What if we see that? What if we see young parents? What if we see an emergence of that? I remember growing up, that was a whole thing. That was, teenage parents, that was a whole thing. What if it starts going back to that? What if it goes back even further? What if it goes back to like 100 years ago or like 200 years ago? What if it goes back to that? Like men and women just having children at a young age. What if wife beating comes back? What if going down on your spouse is no longer cool? Because that was a thing in the past. Men didn't go down on women. What if that becomes? So we don't know. What if it goes back so far as we get rid of nuclear family households and everybody starts sleeping in large tents and it's a communal sleep like we did in tribal times? How far back does it go? I don't know. Maybe you've got the answer. Dun 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 dun. No, but in all seriousness, please do take the time to go down on your spouse and your partner. This is, again, one of the pillars of this podcast. If I can get more people to take the time to give their lover more head, then I know I've done my job. On a beautiful, positive note, I do want to say this. I'm going to be busy in the next few days, I believe, in the United States of America, and I do believe Canada will eventually, hopefully, merge with the United States. That's just, again, one of my dreams. But we'll see. And what's happening in the US is exciting. I hope this also gets implemented here in Canada. IVF is now cheap. In vitro fertilization is extremely cheap. It's now affordable. It's what I hear. It's cheaper. It's more affordable. I don't know how affordable, but it's more affordable, which is nice. I am taking the time to get any viewer of this show 5 IVFs per viewer. I'm actually letting you know that by viewing these videos, you have now been artificially given a baby. In vitro fertilization, we got in there. You're welcome. You didn't ask for it. I did it. I don't care if you're male or female, by the way. I do this out of my own pocket and out of the goodness of my own heart. Not looking for any recognition. I did it as soon as I heard the news. You'll be noticing, of course, pains and aches going through your body over the next few months. Please do not be alarmed. It was affordable. It was a good deal. It was a really good deal. I thought, you know what? Let me do my part and get a few people pregnant. And I did. A whole lot of people are pregnant out there, male, female. I didn't really care to see where I'm sticking the IVF. Some are actually growing. If you notice an abnormality kind of emerging out of your neck, that is, I'm sorry, there was a lot of people. I didn't pay attention as to where I was sticking the needle in. Got us many people pregnant. I did that because it's cheaper now. It's good. Again, male, female, I don't care. I stuck it. There's a couple of people I stuck it in your thigh. You're like, oh, do I need to go see a doctor? You don't. It's not a tumor. It is not a tumor. Relax. You're just pregnant. You're welcome. I got myself a whole lot as well. I jabbed myself with about 21 of them. Due any minute now. I'm debating still whether I'm going to do natural or C-section. We'll see about that. But all in all, it's worked out. I've had people who've given birth because I got to work as soon as I heard it, and it works fast. It works super fast. They gave birth. They're super happy. A little bit caught off guard, but at the end of the day, it's the gift that keeps giving. And yeah, a lot of people don't have time to do the old traditional peen to vag and with all the microplastic this and this, that, and the other. It's difficult. I've heard apparently it's difficult getting pregnant. Apparently it's difficult. You scare the shit out of you when you're younger. That's what they are. Careful not to get anybody pregnant. All that, and then you get a little bit older and it's not apparently as easy as it looks. But again, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I believe it's 175,000 people that I managed to jab in the past 24 hours. It was a lot. It was a lot. I am again. I did my part. You're welcome. It will most likely be twins or triplets. There have been a few people coming out and saying they've given birth to 10 babies. It was not expected, but it's a little bit different. It's just it's a little bit different. Okay, it's not as it's not as simple as just put a penis in a vag and squeeze out one sperm. Sometimes you get twins, sometimes you get triplets. But you're welcome. You're like, I wasn't ready for this response. And nobody is. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to be ashamed. I don't want you to say another word. Please, don't thank me. Until next time. Peace out.